Good morning, students. In the furtherance of module 7, we are going to discuss principles of legislation today. This is the first topic we are going to cover for module 7 of your syllabus. Now, we are going to, in a broader perspective and broader headings, we are going to discuss 4 principles which are namely principle of utility, principle of pain and pleasure, which are basically theories as well. Then we are going to discuss principle of sympathy and antipathy and aesthetic principle. Now, coming to the first topic for today's lecture is principle of utility. I bet you might have already studied about Jeremy Bentham, who is considered as one of the most important, leaders and an architect under the under the law, under the formation and the base behind the foundation of as to how law is to be taken in furtherance with the interpretation and how has it evolved from the past areas and from its past. Now, Jeremy Bentham is one of the most influential jurists and heads under the jurisprudence, and under his book Theory of Legislation, he came out with one of the most important and I can say most important theory which right now forms a very basic and very firm base of all the laws which derive its power and which derive its object from this particular theory, namely principle of utility, viz theory of utilitarian. Now, under this particular theory of utility or principle of utility, Jeremy Bentham, he tried to confer that any law or any action made by the legislatures or the lawmakers should be in consideration to a fact that it provides greater good and is for greater utility to the people. It should be of greater good extent for the people to whom the particular law is going to extend to. The main aim of Jeremy Bentham to provide this principle and the theory of utility was to educate the legislators, for example, the people who are going to make laws, who are going to study laws, and to give them a sound philosophy as to what theory of utilitarianism depends. Now, basically, what do you understand by utility? Utility means something which is required. किसी चीज़ की जिस चीज़ की आपको ज़रूरत है, अगर वही चीज़ आपको उस चीज़ के थ्रू प्रोवाइड करी जाए जो कि नहीं आ रही है, तो it completes, it gives you immense pleasure and pain. Now, a normal life depends on certain amounts of pain and certain amounts of pleasure, certain virtues which are basically desires and certain vices which are your ill factors. These are the two main sovereign matters which we are going to discuss under pain and pleasure. These are the two things which depend upon one person's utility. Utility basically derives its extent, its powers from what exactly a person is required to, is its desire, what are its desires. Now for example, if we take into consideration, like for example, there is a person, who is very poor. If you go and look at him and you feel, you will understand that what he desires. He desires, he longs for food, he longs for shelter, he longs for money. That are his basic desires. Whereas, when you consider at yourself, you have everything, but even if there is you have all the things, they count for material things, there will still you will have those desires, even if you have a phone, you are using like probably the best cell phones available right now in India, but then you will still long for that one phone which you have not tried and tested your hand upon. So that is basically what principle of utility covers upon it. Now, talking about in our daily lives and talking about the present scenario, we live in a politically organized society, whereby we are governed we live political lives. If you take into consideration your home, you have your father and your mother who are the head of the family. They dictate you in some all the other ways. They tend to give you directions, they give you rules, you know, you have a set of rules to be followed in your house. So this is basically, but then they also follow this principle of utility, you know, you will not be provided with anything until and unless you have a firm desire, you know, until and unless you feel the need that without that particular thing, life is not sustainable. Basically, it also depends. So the whole point of discussing politically organized society is that all the people living in a political society they are meant to live with certain desires and certain inhibitions which cannot be curbed, which can only be regulated, which can only be maintained according to the laws, if the laws are capable enough to provide the desired, required needs of the person. If they are well fulfilling and flourishing enough, there will be no need of such theories to have come in place at the first hand. Now, what we study in jurisprudence is we start studying about the principles, we start studying about who were the main exponents and opponents of these particular theories. The main part comes is who and what were the objections raised to the principles and the theories we are going to study. We are mainly going to study only objections regarding principle of utility, which underfalls, which is the main headings of the rest of the theories we are going to cover today. So now, the main objections raised to this particular theory were, the very first one was verbal difficulties. It is not easy for everybody to come out and say outfrontedly that I have a particular desire, I have a particular problem. The utility of a person, the desire, the pain, the pleasure of any person cannot be described verbally. The main part lacks here. You cannot go there and keep on asking different people that, you know, what is your pain, what is your pleasure, what do you require in your life. It has to go inhabitantly, you know, it will change on time, it will change with the needs, it will change with the progressing society. So this leads to a very difficult part as to how each and every law, how each and every factor of your life can depend on utility. The second objection was the language used. Now here, under this particular principle of utility, it was considered as language used to describe virtue. Now virtue is basically something you desire for, you know, you have a longing for something. Now this basically led to a part where, you know, virtue cannot suffice and differentiate between what exactly a person is longing for. Now the third one is theory of utility. Now it was also objected by many authors and many people that, you know, theory of utility is a revival of philosophy of Epicure. Philosophy or Epicure or Epicureans is a philosophy which was given by a Greek god, whereby it basically, what it did was, Bentham's thinking about this particular thing was that theory of Epicurism or philosophy of Epicurism basically destroyed and damaged the ideas of morals and moral values. It basically put an end to it, whereby theory of utility still has, so to some extent, takes into consideration as to what a person's utility is and to what extent it might help him to raise and upbring his morals and moral duties. Now, the fourth objection was judgment. Now every person, according to Bentham, if a person is not rational, he is supposedly to be a person who's of, you know, unsound mind, or he's probably an idiot. I'm quoting the words of Jeremy Bentham. Mind me, judgment was one of the most objective, you know, areas and the discussed objection under this problem, under this theory, whereby judgment might vary from person to person, but according to Jeremy Bentham, it is a human being and a person are rational beings. They have a right to opinionate and to discuss and come to a conclusion as to what exactly they desire and they need. So that was the objection of principle of utilitarian. Now, under principle of utilitarian, we were discussing that, you know, utility describes and, you know, comes under and formulates under two main headings. What it takes into consideration is as to what level the pain and pleasure are demanded and desired by a human being. Now, pain and pleasure can be defined and can be described as two sovereign parts, two sovereign powers of a human being, whereby without these two emotions probably without these two factors, that person's life becomes vague. You have no desires and you have no pleasures in your life, then there is no point of your living, because ultimately you have nothing productive and you have nothing look up to. You don't have anything to look up to. Now, productivity, these two particular things, pain and pleasure are basically things which define utility. आप किसी चीज़ के लिए डिज़ायर कब करते हो? जब वो चीज़ आपको खुशी देती है, राइट? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई वॉन्टेड एन आईफोन फॉर माई सेल्फ. Had it not given me that, satisfaction, or had it not given me that particular happiness, I know it's a material thing, it might last for even 1 month or probably a day, but buying that particular thing gives me a sense of satisfaction. It gives me a mental balance, it provides me an happiness to an extent where I can start living happily with the society and with the people around myself. Now, how pain and pleasure are operated amongst the society? They depend and they work on the concept of sanction. Now, concept of sanction varies under 4 heads as to how they are sanctioned amongst the society. There are certain pains and pleasures which are provided to you, by the political, physical, moral and religious beliefs. Now, we are not going to discuss them in details. Now, values of pleasure. How do you manage a pleasure and a pain? The management of values of pleasure and pain are under broadly 4 heads. Now, the very first is intensity. As to what intense level, as to what intensity is it providing you with happiness and pain at the same time. The proximity, कि उसकी proximity कितनी है, वो किस level तक जा सकता है. दूसरा की ड्यूरेशन, कितने टाइम तक उस चीज़ को लेने के बाद या कितने टाइम तक उस चीज़ के नहीं होने तक आपको वो पेन रहता है या आपको वो प्लेजर मिलता है. सर्टेनिटी, कि उसकी सर्टेनिटी क्या है, उसके होने या ना होने की प्रोबेबिलिटीज़ क्या है, उस चीज़ को सस्टेन करने के क्या चांसेस हैं. उन चीज़ों पे हम किसको वैल्यू करते हैं, उन चीज़ों पे हम प्लेजर और पेन की वैल्यू निकालते हैं. Now we are going to discuss kinds. Now there are different kinds of pleasures which are, segregated under 2 broader headings, which are simple pleasures and simple pains. Now simple pleasures are basically, for example, pleasures of a rich person. Rich people can have any type of a pleasure, they might have, monetary pleasures, अगर मैं बहुत पैसा कमाऊंगा तो मैं बहुत rich हो जाऊंगा तो मेरे को society accept करेगी, I will be the superior people. Some people get this satisfaction and satisfactory thing from these kinds of pleasures. There might be pleasures which can be, pleasure of good reputation. People long for a good reputation. They really work hard. Even if they are not doing it just for the sake of it, they really work hard to achieve a good reputation, to provide, to put off people down, put people down. They gain it for themselves. These certain things gives you pleasure. Pleasure of sense, the pleasure, when you can smell something, you have a home to live, you have people to go to. Pleasure of love. Now, these are the pleasures. There are, I can name like 10 or 9 pleasures of simple pleasures which you can read. Now, pleasures of pain. Now, pleasures of pain are like pain of senses. People who are blind, thirst, food, hungry, these are pleasures of pain. Pain of bad reputation, people who are not respected in the society, people who are not treated well at homes, women who are not treated well at homes comes under pain of, bad reputation. Then, there are pleasures of, pleasure of people with low confidence, where they cannot stand out amongst 10 other people, they cannot talk properly in front of 10 other people. These fall under simple pains, different kinds of pain. Now, similarly, one concept which arises from pain and pleasure is sympathy and antipathy. Now, you might have, used this word sympathy a lot of times while even talking to your friends or probably to your mother or your parents, somehow or the other. Basically, what is sympathy? Sympathy is, when you are trying to show concern to a person who you feel bad for. It is an emotion. It is an act of feeling sorry for the person sitting in front of you who is lacking something and you want to help him. That is what sympathy means. Antipathy means totally opposite. You are a person who has no effect of anything, You don't care whether that person is, under bad influence or, that person has probably no food to eat, had no food to eat for probably 10 days, for the past 10 days, but you are good to go, you have nothing to worry about. That is what antipathy means. Now, antipathy is also known as, sympathy and antipathy are also known as arbitrary principle. Now, what it means is basically in a broader language, broader words, it means certain actions which are approved and disapproved by the society or by the people without any reasons. You have no particular reasons as to why would one person approve and disapprove on the same actions. Now, under this particular principle, it is very well कि कोई भी चीज जो मेरे लिए नहीं है या जो मेरे पास नहीं है, जो मेरे अंडर नहीं है, वो मेरे अगेंस्ट है. ये एक इम्प्लाइड रूल इस थ्योरी के अंदर डेवलप हुआ है कि अगर वो चीज़ मेरे पास नहीं है तो या तो वो चीज़ मेरे बेनिफिट के लिए नहीं है या फिर वो मेरे अगेंस्ट है. इट इज समथिंग विच माइट हार्म मी और इट माइट not fulfill my desires to a fuller extent. Now, this particular theory does not reject the theory of utility to an extent or wholly, but it floats nearby. It is not rejecting it, it is not objective to it, it is not contrary to it. It follows and it floats on the similar levels, but with a different, altogether a very different perspective. Now, coming to the last topic is aesthetic principle. Now, aesthetic principle का मतलब होता है कोई भी एक person जो उस चीज को follow करे. This basically is, I can say that this principle, particular principle, is against, is to a certain level against the principle of utility and against the pain and pleasure principle. Whereby, because this particular principle only talks about people who practice this. For example, the very good example is monks. Now, who are monks? Monks are people जो अपनी life के जो जितने भी pleasures होते हैं ना, उनको डिसोन कर देते हैं. उनके हिसाब से, उन लोगों के हिसाब से हमारी लाइफ के जितनी भी चीज़ें जो हमें खुशी देती है ना, वो गलत है, और जो चीज़ें हमें पेन देती हैं, दे ब्रिंग अस ईदर नियर टू द गॉड्स. बेसिकली दिस थ्योरी रिवॉल्व्स अराउंड रिलीजियस प्रिंसिपल. दे हैव दिस प्रिंसिपल हैज अ रिलीजियस ओरिजिन. ये आपने देखा होगा कि ये जो संत साधु महात्मा होते हैं, ये लोग भी इसी प्रिंसिपल को फॉलो करते हैं, लेकिन उसको हम मतलब वो बोल देते हैं मोह माया टाइप्स. लेकिन इसमें यही होता है, मॉन्क्स इस particular theory is against the principle of utility, because these people who follow this principle have a fear of pleasures. They have a terror of fears rather. They think the more we suffer, the more good we are going to provide to the society, the more closer we feel to the God. These people hurt themselves, these people curb their pleasures and the necessities of their lives just to not, they feel that reincarnation, rebirth is useless. They do not want to have a rebirth, they don't want another life. So what they do is, they curb their pleasures, they disown them. So this completes your first topic for your theories of legislation and principles of legislation. Tomorrow we are going to study the second topic for module 7. Thank you so much.
At St. Wilfrid College of Law, Sector 10, Meera Marg, Madhyam Marg, Jaipur, Rajasthan.